just your assessment of the game, and obviously they made that push there at the end to get that cushion. What do you think of the last 4 or 5 minutes or so for you guys?
Yeah, well, not good enough to win the game, but we're going to stay positive. The first game with those three guys out there together, a lot of figuring it out. Guys figuring out when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, dealing with minutes restriction, all those types of things, and we'll stay positive with it, but not enough during that stretch.
Curious, how would you assess the three overall playing together, and then how you staggered them and had two out there at once at the same time?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, and I thought Brad got going early in the game, but the restriction has us get him out sooner than we typically would. So I think it would have been nice to run him in a little longer since he made his first three shots. Second stint didn't really have the same rhythm that he started with, but that's stuff that will come. I like the rhythm of the game, and like I said, those guys are just kind of trying to figure out how to get each other involved and choose their spots to be aggressive.
The other thing I have was Dinwiddie at the end there. Everyone talks about Oxy McHale and the other guy they have in Cam Thomas, but Dinwiddie's someone that late in the game he seems to like the ball. And how did you feel like you guys?
Yeah, he's one of the most underrated players in the game, and he hurt us. They got a number of guys that can go. They're a good team. They're a playoff team in the Eastern Conference, and we didn't play well enough to beat them.
I'm not sure if Booker took a shot in the first quarter, and then from there he was ultra aggressive in attack mode. Is that kind of what you're talking about, figuring out?
Yeah, we'll figure it out, myself included. How to use those guys, how to push certain buttons. I don't mind him being a facilitator with trying to get Brad going early. Brad's coming out. And I think Book has a great pulse on, when to turn it up and be aggressive to score. And the key is all three guys got to be aggressive to read, not to score or to pass, but just to be aggressive to read.
Was that on Booker, or that decision, or what? Did he feel like
He's
he
just
had to do a Michael Jordan and just distribute the ball and get it?
No, I think he was just reading the game. I don't think it's premeditated.
It felt like a game where you guys could have used Grayson and Gordon shooting. Did you like, when those three were out there, the looks you were generating off of their gravity?
Pretty good. I don't think we handled their switching well enough, throughout the game. We got a little too ISO heavy and weren't effective in the ISOs when we can be, which is, you can play heavy ISO basketball, but you got to be effective in it, and I don't think we quite were. So we can be better, and we will.
Obviously, the past two games you faced smaller teams, so that affects how you're going to run things. But the second half, you had Chimezi be sort of like a backup center front court type of option. We didn't see Drew. Similar thing last night. What hasn't been working about those units that made you kind of try something else the past?
Yeah, I think tonight was different. That we had a different group in there, during their run at the middle part of the first half last night and tonight. Okay, we took a barrage on during that stretch, but there were different lineups for us out there last night and tonight. So different causes, different game, and we'll watch the tape and get better from it.
What do you think of Nasir's contributions?
Good, he battled through. I probably played him more minutes than he should have, having not done anything for a few days. But I admire his toughness and want and desire to be out there and played a good game.
Coach Brooklyn was able to generate a lot of good looks from three and at the rim. What did you see in terms of the defensive breakdowns that were happening?
Yeah, I got to look at the tape. I mean, they're a really good pick and roll team, and they're the number one 3-point shooting team in the league. And seventh in attempts and number one field goal percentage. So, it puts pressure on you to guard the pick and roll without over helping. And at times we did. They made us pay.
Look at it and go, we can get more of that the next time we're out there.
We just have to look back at it. I wouldn't. We're not going to stress it too much. We obviously have, some things to work on. But it was just good to have everybody out there. Well, not everybody, but the three of us, and just get to play off each other and get a feel for it.
How much of you not shooting early was to get Brad going, or how much of it was just you reading the game?
Yeah, just reading the game. Obviously I knew after the first quarter I didn't have a shot attempt, but we're getting good looks, and we have players on the court that can score the ball at a very high level. So just reading the game, take what the defense gives us.
Is that something that you may see even more of, or is that just an aberration that you're not taking a shot?
It just depends on how they're defending. I don't go in with any, certain type of mindset, or I'm going to score tonight, or I'm going to overpass tonight. I'm just reading the game and trying to get the best available shot every time.
When it comes to reading the game, how did you like the feel of having not just KD one pass away, but Beal one pass from that?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much space, so much opportunity out there, and I think this is, step one for us, all getting out there, and we learn from this and we keep moving forward.
What kind of another aspect of that, Nurk was talking about playing with a little more pace, and what are you looking for when you're setting things up? Let's go versus let's kind of settle into something. What are you kind of watching for?
Just let's go. That's my only mindset. Whenever we get the outlet, whoever it is, the other four take off sprinting, and don't just sprint to get down the court. Sprint and turn your head and look for the ball, and try to get easy opportunities. We miss Grayson tonight. He's really good at that. EG also. So I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Playing off of what Brandon said about Nurk, what can you assess about that third quarter run when you took the lead over and you and Nurk were basically playing off each other and pushing that drive?
Yeah, I mean, he can do so many things out there well. I always talk about his IQ, but, he's super competitive too. He'll bring his matchup to the block and be super physical with them and make them, feel his presence. And, at the same time, those small windows on our backdoor cuts, he can always deliver that. So I can play read and react with him, and we're on the same page in that regard.
Look, how do you kind of view the team's defense right now during the stretch? It seemed like a lot of those threes were created off of penetration.
Yeah, I mean they run a lot of small ball. I don't know if we've seen much of that this year, where they have good spacing with 5 out, and they play a driving kick game. So obviously can be better with it, but giving up too many threes means you're over helping. Which means the man that's guarding the ball isn't staying in front of the ball. So the most we can stay out of rotation, and what we say is show 5 or show 4, but, stay home on those at the same time.
You mentioned how important Cam and Mikhail were to you and what you guys have built here. How was it, seeing the reception they got and competing with them as well?
I mean, it just felt like practice, honestly. Obviously, a lot of emotion there, a lot of feelings there. I, obviously keep up with them every night. And, my league pass, the Nets are one of my favorite teams on there. I have them start. So if I'm not watching it, I'm getting an alert or checking box scores. Them guys are, it's bigger in basketball with them. Everybody here knows they're high character. And, they left their mark on this organization.
Kevin was asked about building continuity and cohesion, like when it comes, he said basketball is an unpredictable sport. You just don't know when it's going to click. Is that your experience too over the years, and just it comes in certain times?
I think just through experience, just being in the trenches, going through nights like this. I said it after last night, like you have to be able to learn in your wins and losses. You don't want to get too high, get too low. You go on a win streak and, the team feels like they're on top of the world and there's nothing wrong, and then you lose 3 games in a row and you feel like you're not going to make the playoffs. We can't be that type of team. I said it, like I said last night, our late game situation was super poor, and, they threw a few press defenses at us tonight, and the spacing was a lot better. So, that's a good carryover.
How do you balance between the eagerness to let's get fully healthy and see how it looks, between building right now, like you're saying?
I mean, it's definitely a balance. I'm not the guy to be like, let's push it off and, we'll figure it out once it gets closer to playoffs. I understand the importance of all these games. Like I said, every team has different coverages. They have different offenses. Tonight we're running 5 out, so each game is a new test that later down the line you might see in one of those crucial moments. So locking into it and try not to make the same mistakes over and again.
Devin, why do you think Cam and Mikal connected so well with the fan base?
With the fan base, they're just high character guys. They're involved in the community. Both of them are well spoken, well educated. They come from great families. Really everything you want. And then I haven't even mentioned their play yet, and that's obviously both two all-star level players. And they play hard every night, and that's what this city loves.
I know that obviously they were your rookies, but did you think that you would have that kind of friendship with them when you first initially got around them? Did you foresee having the kind of bond you have with those?
Day one, yeah. A lot of personality with those guys too. The Villanova, North Carolina, Pittsburgh for Cam, like those guys are super smart. Like they're just highly educated, and that translates directly to the court.
Devin. Change with the bench near the end of the fourth quarter. Was it Claxton or someone on the bench that said something?
Yeah, just protecting my teammate.
Devin, Nurk was wearing your shoes tonight.
Yeah.
Gave him the stamp of approval just now in the locker room. What's your reaction to seeing teammates wear your shoes?
It's hard to put the words. Even last night, KD wearing them on the sideline, like it's really a dream come true. Something that I've literally had real vivid dreams about, and to see it come to light. It's a way that I just want to share my story, and everybody is a part of the story. So to see people actually rocking them and liking them, and being surprised about how they feel. Everybody in the locker room got them tonight, so they put their foot in them, and it's like I wasn't expecting them to be this comfortable. So it's all been great reviews so far.
I saw your post with PJ wearing them. Is there another player in the league that you want to get a pair to and see them?
Mikal, yeah. Trying to get him small yellow ones. Bring back what he used to do here.
2 years straight.
Yeah, 2 years straight. I don't want it to be too many people. People that I have authentic relationships with. But at the same time, you want it to be able to appeal to masses, and you want everybody in it. Thank you.
Yeah, we showed some spurts. You gotta give the Nets credit. They played like 3 or 4 different defenses tonight, try to throw us off. But I think we fought through it and figured some stuff out. We're only gonna get better.
I'm curious, you talked even before about the multiple defenses you guys have seen already. Is that just going to have to just be the mindset for you guys? That, okay, we bound to see any and everything because of what we got right now?
Yeah, most definitely. People listen to y'all, read your articles, and listen to the much hype is around our team. So they coming in prepared, trying to figure out ways to stop us. They've been watching us on TV, so they coming in prepared, trying to figure some stuff out. They know it's tough to guard us traditionally, so they want to throw some muck the game up a bit. So I think we still got solid looks throughout the game.
Is there anything that just 1 or 2 things that you saw tonight that you're like, you know what, that's there. We just didn't either make the shots or get to those shots in particular?
I feel like we got good shots. I think the game, to be honest, was they outscored us from the three-point line, pretty much even everywhere else.
With the looks that you guys were able to generate on the backside with Book, with Beal 1 or 2 passes away, did this feel like a game where you really could have used Grayson and Eric out there?
Yep, for sure.
KD, you've been here before with the Warriors, with the Nets. What's the secret of having 3 or 4 superstars working together and blending?
Simplifying the game, just staying aware of one another while we're on the floor. I think we all did a solid job of that tonight. But when you got 3 guys that can handle the ball and get downhill and shoot and create for their own, I think we take advantage of those opportunities. I think whoever got it going, Book had it going, getting downhill tonight and created for us on that backside. It's going to be like that. It might be different guys doing it every game.
Kevin, how would you kind of assess the team's defense right now in the led to those 3-point looks.
Yeah, we could be better in that area.
You know, Devin, did you mean to foul, or was that just kind of a tough call?
Yeah, I think he anticipated a foul, but it is what it is.
Kevin, in your experience on all types of different rosters, when there's so much new, what is the secret to building cohesion, building continuity, and having things start to click together?
Just reps, more games, more possessions together.
That's something you guys are mindful of right now through this stretch and all the injuries?
Yeah, most definitely. I think everybody's mindful of it, coaching staff. So we're trying to figure out what works for us, and glad we all got to grace the floor together. So looking for many more of those opportunities to get better.
I know every situation is different, but how many games do you feel it's going to take for you guys to know what you're going to be doing, how everything's going to fall in place?
And basketball is unpredictable, man. Who knows? We can't pinpoint or give you an exact time on when we're going to get it clicking. You know, basketball is an unpredictable sport, and anything can happen. It can be tomorrow, it can be 2 weeks from now, but I know we're going to come to work and try to figure it out as best as we can.
Kevin, you talked about, last that first year you were in Brooklyn, and how the franchise with you and going through that, getting over the injury, and saw you before the game talking with some guys. What was it like to see those guys again? Because you hadn't seen those, a lot of those guys since the trade.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the stamp and the shield you got on, is about the people you work with every single day. I mean, executives, the support staff, they move all around the league, players, everybody we pass everybody around the league, So when I see people, regardless of what shield they have on, what jersey they have on, it's always good to share moments together again, and that's what it felt like tonight. I've got so many friends around the league that I play with on different teams. So tonight was one of those nights where I got to see a lot of people that I really respect. I really worked. I put our heads down and worked together, and we did some cool things. So it was fun to see them.
Didn't get a chance, obviously, to ask you yesterday about Draymond and Nurkic. What was your reaction to that and Draymond getting the indefinite suspension?
Yeah, that was insane to see. Glad Nurk is all right. Never seen that before on a basketball court in an NBA game. I hope Draymond gets the help he needs. It's been incident after incident, so I know Draymond, and that's not, he hasn't been that way when I was around him and coming into the league. So hopefully he gets the help he needs and get back on the court and, put all this stuff behind him.